And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Chelsea Piers in Stamford, Connecticut. It is another edition of the NWHL on Cross Ice Pass. This evening from Stamford, Connecticut, it is the 11-2 Connecticut Whale first place team in the NWHL as they battle the Boston Pride, the second best team in the league. And the Red Hot Pride coming in with a record of 9-3-1 on the season, just 3 points behind Connecticut for first place in the league. Hi, everybody. Phil Giubileo on hand as the crowd making their way to the building on a beautiful late Sunday afternoon / early Sunday evening here in Connecticut. Temperatures reaching the 50s. Hard to believe a week ago everybody digging out of a huge snowstorm up here in the Northeast, but a gorgeous day here. It is defending the blue line night here in Stamford, Connecticut. The Whale wearing the military camouflage themed jerseys, although a blue camouflage, not your typical desert or green and black camouflage. They are lined up to our left, the Boston Pride in their road yellows with the black and white trim on our right, as we will take a look right now at the starting lineups for both clubs. And we'll begin with the Boston Pride. Brittany Ott in net. She is 8-1-1 on the season with a 1.94 goals against average, a .930 save percentage, and she holds the only league shutout so far this season. Starting on defense will be Casey Bellamy, who had 2 assists in their last game on the 17th, which was their 4-1 win over the Connecticut Whale up at Harvard. Gigi Marvin, the other starter on defense. Up front, Rachel Lannis will center Emily Field along with Corinne Bowie. Bobby J., the head coach of the Boston Pride, assisted by Lauren McAuliffe. The scratches for today's game: Casey Pickett, Sherry Henderson, Megan Mangine, of course, Dena Lang after her injury back at the Winter Classic on New Year's Eve. We'll talk about Dena and her foundation during the course of tonight's game. Meanwhile, the Connecticut Whale with a new head coach in tow. Heather Lindstad, the former head coach at UConn Women's Hockey, joined the team on Friday after Jake Mastel resigned abruptly on Thursday. A lot of stuff going around on the interwebs about that. We will leave it there for the moment, as this team getting focused to play hockey at a pivotal point of the season. Kaleigh Fratkin will start on defense alongside Jordan Brickner. And up front, Kelly Stack, the Team USA standout centers. Brittany Doherty along with Michaela Long. Some scratches today for the Whale. Kate Buser not in the lineup today. That's an offensive presence they will miss. Lindsey Berman remains out with a long-term injury. Cheyenne D'Arcangelo not available tonight, and that's a huge absence from their team, a team leading 9 goals on the season. Sam Faber out with the injured arm. Katja Pashkevich is a scratch for tonight as well. Back in the Whale lineup, Anya Battolino, who just a few weeks ago, back on the 10th of the month, was sitting to my left as the color commentator. She makes her return after a long-term injury. She had been injured in an early season game up at Buffalo, and now we will send it down to center ice. Well, the national anthem has concluded. There will be a ceremonial puck drop. We mentioned it is defending the blue line night here at the Chelsea Piers, the Connecticut Whale and the Boston Pride. And a young girl associated with the organization getting set for the ceremonial puck drop, being led out onto center ice by one of the officials for today's game. She gets stick taps by the teams and a round of applause by the fans here in attendance this evening as the top two teams in the league getting set to battle. And talking about the home stretch for this Connecticut Whale team, 5 games remaining in the league. Just 3 points separating these two clubs for the top seed in the upcoming playoffs, and those playoffs will take place the first two weekends during the month of March after the regular season concludes on February 28th. Hilary Knight for the Boston Pride, one of their captains, along with Brianna Decker, taking the face-off along with Alyssa Wolfeiler of the Connecticut Whale. Some handshakes all around, and now both teams will go back to their respective corners and get set for hockey here in just a couple of moments in Stamford, Connecticut. And a building crowd here, smallest building in the league. Fans are still filing their way into the barn. Just 4 rows of seating on my side of the ice, same side as the cameras. So when you're watching the game on NWHL Cross Ice Pass, the side that you see are the side of the benches, and the penalty boxes, the scoring table. No seating, of course, behind there. It is all on our side of the rink. But these two teams will be playing each other quite a bit down the stretch. 3 of the remaining 5 games will be against each other. They'll play one more time here and then up in Harvard on Valentine's Day in just a couple of weeks. The Whale in their military-themed jerseys will skate from left to right in the first period. Jamie Leonoff getting the start tonight in goal. She's 7-1 with a 2.55 goals against average, a .938 save percentage. Nicole Stock backs her up, as well as the newest member of the Connecticut Whale, and that's Shanae Lundberg, and she's wearing 78. Chelsea Layden's old number. The first trade in league history took place earlier this week, a trade of goaltenders between the Whale and the New York Riveters, third-string goaltenders going each way. Chelsea Layden, a standout at Quinnipiac, not a third-string by her pedigree, but an early season injury kind of kept her on the bench for most of the season. Coming back, Shanae Lundberg. Lundberg is dressed, unlikely to play today as we are underway here in Stamford, Connecticut. Brittany Doherty, quick shot from the right wing circle, and then Brittany Ott had a little bit of trouble. She gloved it eye level, dropped it down, bobbled it as she held on. The quick whistle by the referee, and play stops 12 seconds in. New line mates for Kelly Stack with Doherty and Long as the face-off one to the right point. Fratkin shot blocked to the far wing corner. These two teams played back on the 17th prior to the All-Star break. Boston won that game 9-1. The Pride set the Connecticut Whale back for the first time in their franchise's history on December 27th in a game where all of the Team USA members for both clubs are at development camp. That meant no Cheyenne Darkangelo and Kelly Stack for the Connecticut Whale. But for the Boston Pride, it led to 8 of their regulars being out, and now a turnover. Here's Babstock to the slot, and she shoots one. Brittany Ott the save. Back to the point. Doyle, one-timer save made by Ott. Brittany Ott, a tough customer, and she was the goaltender back on December 27th when the Boston Pride won in this building. Here's Doyle to the right point for Engstrom. Down the right side boards, off the skate of Babstock, try to center it in front, deflects in behind the goal, and taken away by Jillian Dempsey and led up the far wing boards as Amanda Pelkey gets it out. Ahead back to Dempsey, good speed, racing in. Dempsey in front with a shot kicked away, trickled back to the slot, and now dropped off to the right wing point for Blake Bolden. Cross to the left wing side now for Marissa Gedman, and along the far wing boards, it's shoveled ahead by Shannon Doyle. As the Whale unable to get it out. We're 90 seconds into the first period, no score. Whale already with 3 shots on goal as they rim it around the boards. And Alyssa Gagliardi will play it deep back in her own zone. Long dump up the near wing, a bit too far for Zoe Hickle. Turn the other way. Here comes Katja Smolentseva, who's been red hot. Shot blocked. Rebound put on net. Brittany Ott with the save. Thrown out in front. A good behind-the-back pass by Danielle Ward as it ricochets out to the point. Now driven back into the right wing corner. Chased down by Jordan Brickner. Works behind the goal line. Brickner trying to wrap it around the near wing post. That was poked away by Ott. And now Anya Battolino back in the Whale lineup. Skating as a forward tonight. Try to keep it deep. Puck comes out. And the Whale will regroup back in their own zone as Ward trying to get out of some danger. Feeling a lot of pressure from Decker. Now it's Hilary Knight. Knight barreling in with a shot save made by Leonoff. Those dynamic offensive players were not in the lineup back during the first encounter here late in December. And now it is Knight. Team USA stand out in front for Decker at point-blank range, and she's denied. A brilliant save by Jamie Leonoff, who was in the right place at the right time. 2 minutes and 30 seconds in, no score. Shots 4-3 in favor of the Connecticut Whale. Brianna Decker, 7 goals, 17 points on the season, looking for number 8. 1 hat trick for her this season. As the Whale get it out towards center ice, Rachel Lannis plays it back in her own zone. Pride, a very fast team. A lot of speed on this club. We get a penalty coming up. Not waved off. It was actually going to be a high stick. Now loose puck in front. And there was Michaela Long. Couldn't keep it. Back the other way come the Pride. Kelly Cook along the far wing side boards. Out toward the corner. Rim back up. Along to the near wing. Regained by Doherty. Doherty going around Gedman. Gets chased down by Corinne Bowie along the right wing side for the Pride. And now driven around back to the left wing side. Shannon Doyle in behind the net. Michaela Long skating back out to the right wing side. Ahead to the point for Fratkin, moving left, driving a shot deflected in front. Backhand try from the doorstep. Sharp angle try from behind the net. Hit off the side of the goal. And Gigi Marvin will take it away for Boston. Rimmed up the near wing side. A little bit of pressure coming from the point of the Whale. But Connecticut will change here with 16:25 gone, remaining in the period and no score. And the Pride will ice the puck with 16:24 left. In the first period, the faceoff will return back to the Boston Pride zone to our right. Connecticut 4-1 on home ice this season. The Pride 4-1 on the road. Face-off in the near wing circle. Wolfeiler controls it. Finds Tommy Moto at the right point. She keeps it in, racing in top of the circle. Now to Wolfeiler along the half wall. Lannis shadows her for Boston. Skated out toward the blue line. Wolfeiler throws it in the slot off the stick of Kelly Babstock. Babstock in the far wing corner. And taken away as Pelkey will center it ahead. Through center ice, Zoe Hickle from the slot. Her shot caught up in the gear of Engstrom. Played it to Smolentseva on the far wing boards. And Katja Smolentseva, the Russian national team member, gets it out of danger. And the Pride quickly swing it back the other way to the left boards for Dempsey. And she'll nestle it off the glass and in towards the corner. Played behind the net. Out to the near wing circle. Smolentseva takes it. Shovels a wobbling puck cross ice out to center. And Blake Bolden will take it. Fanned on a directional pass. Now gets it back to Alyssa Gagliardi in the near wing circle of her zone. Centered out to Dempsey. From the center red line, played it in. Fratkin chases it deep for the Whale. 15-15 left to play in the first period. No score. Puck at center ice taken by Casey Bellamy. Now to the right side for Gigi Marvin. Played back to Bellamy. She has to chase it down in the corner. Facing pressure by Danielle Ward. And along the near wing boards, it's gained by Jordan Smelker. Smelker took it out to center, had it poked back in. The Pride now play it through. Smelker racing toward the far wing corner. Has a step in front of Brickner to the left wing side. Over to Decker. 14:45 left to play in the first period. No score in the game. Shots 4-3 for the Connecticut Whale. Here's Kelly stacking across the line. The Whale play it over offside. And the faceoff will come out to the neutral zone along the far wing, right by the Boston Pride bench, helmed by Bobby J. The Whale have Kelly Stack's line on the ice, centering Long and Doherty. She wins the faceoff back. She's one of the best in the league at that. Fratkin from the blue line drives it in on goal. Brittany Ott with the save. Along in the far wing corner. It's played back around to the near wing side. Regained by the Pride. They fail to get it out. Kelly Stack fans on a keep-in attempt. She had battle against it by Decker. Is able to get it back into the Connecticut Whale zone, and now it's Kaleigh Fratkin, who's been cold in terms of goal scoring. It's been a while since she's lit the back of the lamp. Had a 3-game point streak snapped after she was silenced on the 17th. She had 5 assists during that stretch, but 5 goals for Fratkin, most of those coming early in the season. 14:10 remaining. No score in the first period here in Stamford. Pride with it behind the center line. Now Gagliardi skating with it. Lifted into the Connecticut zone to our left. Shannon Doyle shoveled around for Kazumi. Off her skate, Doyle plays it back in her zone now for Molly Engstrom. Engstrom around the boards to the near wing. Off of Wolfeiler a little bit too far. Corinne Bowie will take it back to Pride. Regroup in their own wing zone. Casey Bellamy is there. Skates around one Connecticut player. Outlets to the left side for Field. Here's Emily Field down the near wing side. Try to dangle around Molly Engstrom. Well defended by the Whale. And here comes Connecticut now with speed. Jess Kazumi and across the line. Stops along the half wall. The Yale assistant coach flanked by 2 yellow sweaters as Boston gets it out to center. Tommy Moto, who had the lone goal in the loss to Boston 2 weeks ago, played back in her own zone along to the near wing side. And now it's swung back to the far wing boards for Tommy Moto by Doyle. Smolensova at center. Advancing in. Here's Katja Smolensova. Couldn't get it around Gagliardi. Puck comes in behind her. Sharp angle try from the left wing side. Blocked in front. Puck loose side of the goal. Poked in toward the corner. Jillian Dempsey there for Boston. And the Pride will skate ahead with it. Dempsey with a saucer to the left side for Zoe Hickel. Down the near wing. Swings a shot that was sticked away by Jamie Leonoff. The shot was drifting wide, and it goes into the netting. Play stops with 12:55 remaining in the first period, and no score. Shots are 6-4 in favor of the Connecticut Whale. Next Sunday afternoon at 12:30, the Connecticut Whale back on home ice. They're playing that game at the Danbury Ice Arena in Danbury, Connecticut. Bit of a bigger barn, seats a little over 2,000. Go to nwhl.co for ticket information on how you can take part in that one on Super Bowl Sunday. Great way to start the afternoon. Watch a little NWHL hockey, and you still get home in plenty of time for the pre-games and the kickoff and all of that good stuff. Danbury Ice Arena, unique place to watch a game. It has housed pro hockey for 11 seasons, starting with the Danbury Trashers when they were in the old United Hockey League back in 2004, a team I worked for 2 seasons, 2 wild seasons of AA level minor professional hockey. Now there's a team called the Danbury Titans that plays for the Federal Hockey League in that building. Their rival just a few minutes away, the Brewster Bulldogs. The next week it'll be home to the Connecticut Whale. Make sure you ask for tickets in section 102. Here come the Pride. Here's Decker in across the line, gliding toward the slot, lost the puck briefly, backhand try, and that was Hilary Knight. A sneaky shot from the midpoint of the left wing circle, but Leonoff was not surprised, and she makes the save with 11:48 remaining in the first period, no score. Brianna Decker had a head of steam as she was coming down the left wing side, and then it was dropped off. Knight on her offhand side got a good little backhand shot. That was tough to stop. Gagliardi having trouble playing it. Lost the puck, chipped out to center, and she's going to get whistled for interference. Game's first penalty comes at 8:22 of the first period. And it is Alyssa Gagliardi going to the box for the Boston Pride. So that will give the Connecticut Whale the game's first power play of the afternoon. Brickner with it at the right point. Swings it out to the left side for Fratkin at the half wall. Babstock to Stack. Trying to cut in front. Lost the handle to Bellamy. Dumped out the near wing boards and through. As Brickner and Fratkin will chase it back. Jamie Leonoff holds it behind her net. Rachel Lannis, along with Gigi Marvin, Corinne Bowie, and Casey Bellamy, the quartet for the Boston penalty kill. They're at 80.4% on the season. The Connecticut Whale in the power play, 23.6, second in the league, as Lannis shorthanded from the top of the left wing circle. Stopped, 1:20 remaining in the Alyssa Gagliardi interference call, as the faceoff will stay back in the Whale zone. Decker, Knight, Gedman, And Blake Bolden now for the Boston penalty kill. Stecker wins the faceoff back to Gedman. Her dad, a former Major League ball player, Rich Gedman of the Boston Red Sox, part of that 1986 Red Sox team that fell short against the New York Mets. As a lifelong New York Mets fan, that was one of my childhood highlights. With apologies to those who are Boston Red Sox fans tuning into the broadcast tonight. 10.5 to play here in the first period. No score, under a minute remaining in the Whale and their first power play. There's Michaela Long to the right side for Wolfeiler. Sweeps it in past Bellamy. Now chasing against Marvin in the corner. She has Wolfeiler locked up. Bellamy comes in, takes the free puck, comes around her net. Back to Brianna Decker. Turned it over. Stack in the slot, shoots. Ott got a piece of it with the glove. Great chance for Kelly Stack, who's been pretty solid as of late for the Connecticut Whale. Stack with points in 5 straight games. Now the Whale work it in behind the net. Wrap try in front. They were looking for Babstock. As it's Engstrom. Chip back toward the point. Doyle with a drive blocked. Back to the left point. Engstrom to the right side. Kazumi looking for space in the slot. Still with it in front of her blue line to the left wing side. Kelly Babstock back now to Doyle. Time running out in the penalty. Engstrom try to diagonal pass it back toward the corner. Gagliardi returns to the ice. And now she's out of the box, and Hilary Knight might have a breakaway. She has a step on Engstrom. Walks in front, shoots, and that one got partially deflected. Engstrom might have had a piece of it from behind. Good recovery, and now a trip as trying to skate out of the zone. A Connecticut Whale player got dumped down to the ice by number 16, Pelkey. And then an open ice hit at center ice is Kelly Babstock, who was initially hit, tripped up back in their own zone, then got clipped out at center ice on the delayed call. And the Whale will go right back on the power play at 10:43, as it is Pelkey of Boston going to the box. Tripping in the call. 10:43 is the time of the penalty. Bolden controls for Boston. The Pride with it deep in their corner. Regained by Connecticut. On the left wing side. Working it is Doherty. Back in the corner to Wolfeiler. Long out there as well, along with Brickner and Fratkin. They work the points. 8:55 to play in the first period. No score. On the left wing side, it's Fratkin. To the corner for Wolfeiler. Alyssa Wolfeiler, shadowed by Gagliardi. Able to get it up the boards to Doherty, flanked by 2 Pride skaters. Connecticut continues to try to work a cycle deep in their own zone. And now a pass toward the circle for Brickner. Comes back in the corner. Wolfeiler looking in front. She had Michaela Long on the doorstep right at the top of the crease, and that was blocked and dumped out of the zone by the Pride as Brickner will chase back for it. The Pride changing their penalty killers. 1:05 remaining in the second Connecticut power play. Left wing pass a bit too far up the ice for Fratkin. Puck sits in front of the scoring table. Deflected back for Kelly Stack. Stack a little give and go as she gets the return pass back in her own zone. Skates it across her own blue line. Tries to move around the left wing. Gains the Boston zone. Here's Kelly Stack coming all the way in front, and she lost an edge and went into the far goalpost mooring, knocking it off its peg. And play stops with 8:03 remaining in the first period. 46 seconds remaining in the penalty on Amanda Pelkey, who has goals in her last 2 games in 6 of 8. So keeping a top Pride offensive player off the ice, although that's a bit of a misnomer because almost everyone in this Boston Pride team can light the back of the lamp with regularity. 8 Team USA members, including Brianna Decker and Hilary Knight. Hilary Knight, 22 points to lead the league so far this season, is spilled back in the Boston zone. Kazumi digging in for it against Decker. Now to the left point. Here's Molly Engstrom. Settles the puck down to the right side for Doyle. Top of the right circle. Shot deflected out in front, and Ott was ready for it. She holds on. A little slap pass by Doyle. That shot was drifting wide. And then right by the side of the goal, Jess Kazumi centered it out in front. A good deflection, but Ott was able to smother and cover with 24 remaining. And the penalty on Pelkey. Will control it again off the face-off win. Doyle to the left side. Engstrom drags back for a shot, blocked in front. Rolling puck. Decker played it before Kazumi could get there, and it's lobbed up into the netting behind the Pride net with 7:31 to play in a scoreless first period. Shots are 9-7. Both teams are getting their fair share of offensive chances here in this first period of play. Babstock lost the draw that time. Bolden for Boston in the corner. Shoveled up the boards over the heads of both Hickle and Shannon Doyle as Engstrom will get it back with just 4 seconds remaining in the Boston penalty. The Whale now 0 for 2 on the power play as it's back to 5-on-5. Here come the Whale in those camouflage jerseys. They will be auctioned off on defending the blue line, I believe, starting tomorrow. The All-Star jerseys that were worn last week by the 5 members of the Connecticut Whale that participated are being auctioned off today here as we get an icing and a stoppage in play. I don't know why they sounded the horn. There should not be immediate timeout on the icing. They want to have that face-off back in the Boston zone. And now the officials seem to be a little bit confused. I guess they'll take the timeout. That's a big break for the Boston Pride because on an icing, you're not supposed to go into the immediate timeout. The horn sounded. I think the referees are kind of scolding the scoring table now for sounding that buzzer. The public address announcer reading the announcements, but you don't want to have that immediate timeout, which we have here in this building after the halfway mark of the period, but it's after that first whistle. So if a team, and that's if it's even strength, so if there's a power play going on of any sort, you wouldn't go into the immediate timeout. Likewise, on an icing call, you would not go into the timeout after that. So the Boston Pride get a de facto, well, they get kind of like home-style cooking on the road because they were the ones who iced the puck. The Whale were going to have the offensive zone draw. They were going to be able to make a change. The Pride could not make a change off of the icing, but they get a timeout. So that's almost as good for Bobby J. I'm sure he'll take that. 6:59 to play in the first period. No score. Face-off will be to the right of Brittany Ott. Smelensova wins the face-off. Back to Brickner. Lob down the boards to Battolino. Tied up by Bolden. She takes it away for Boston. Can't clear the zone. Back to the left point. Shoveled out in front, and here come the Pride. Zoe Hickle to the left wing side. Pelkey back to Hickle. A little bit of traffic in front. Quick shot by Pelkey at the high slot, and that one whistled just wide after a little bit of initial discombobulation. Meanwhile, Jillian Dempsey briefly caught in a headlock for Boston behind the Whale net, but play continues on. Dempsey back with it. The sharp angle shot from the edge of the left circle is gloved by Jamie Leonoff, and she makes her 9th save of period number 1 with 6:24 remaining in the first. It's still scoreless between the Connecticut Whale and the Boston Pride. That in itself, a bit of an accomplishment. You know, the Boston Pride, 9-3-1 on the season. They have not been outshot in a game this season. Rachel Lannis for Boston, lost an edge. Whale failed to clear, back to the point. Big drive by Marvin off the end boards. Backhand try by Lannis. Nice sliding block. A good play by Shannon Doyle. And it's taken by Stack up ahead as she moves the puck to Michaela Long. Lobbed in over the Boston line. Played quickly out off the near boards by Gigi Marvin. And taken back by Molly Engstrom. Engstrom gets it ahead to center. Brittany Doherty, center to Michaela Long. Had a poke checked away to the near wing boards. And now a tie-up along the right wing side. Engstrom waiting for the puck to come free for the Connecticut Whale. And Decker able to fish it back toward the corner. Casey Bellamy rims it around to the left wing corner, and Bowie will send it back to the left wing side. Now here comes Decker. Head of steam, left circle, shot. Deflected away by the blocker, Leonoff to the corner, and then back to Bellamy at the left point. She can't hold him. Works with Gedman, sends a pass up the middle. Here's Decker. Decker in front, drop pass shot, big save, Leonoff. As Hilary Knight at it from point blank range, but there was Leo to make the save. So Whale looked to get it out, can't. Knight back to Decker, high slot, slap shot, blocker save made by Leonoff again. And now Wolfiler will chip it to her left. Jessica Kazumi gets it out to center ice. Second effort, forced it into the Pride zone, and Gedman will rim it around the boards back to Smelker along the near wing. Nearly cut off, Smelker able to get it out. A little nice soccer kick there by Jordan Brickner to Kazumi. Rink wide dump off the right wing boards. Here's Babstock, lobs a cross ice pass that's tracked down on the left side. Smelensova, sharp angle try from the half boards, never quite got to Brittany Ott. Hilary Knight in front of her own bench for Boston, cleared, but Battolino just jumped onto the ice and rifles it in behind the Boston net. Brittany Ott played it around for Smelker. She takes a shove by Fratkin, played back the other way. And now Alyssa Gagliardi in the corner will move it ahead to Pelkey. She can't get it out. Good zone time here for Connecticut. 4:10 to play in the first period. No score. The puck is chipped from behind the net in front. Right at the top of the blue paint was Danielle Ward. That was a nifty pass from behind the goal by Connecticut's Katya Smolentsova. And it remains 0-0 with 4:07 to play in the first period. Shots are Boston 11 and the Connecticut Whale 10. Stack Long and Doherty out with Fratkin and Brickner. Here's Fratkin from the point. Lets one go. Deflected high, stayed in the circle. Brittany Doherty trying to swing it out in front. And it was played nicely by Bellamy, who got hooked. And it looks like Boston will get their first power play. A hooking penalty at 16:05. So the Boston Pride, with the top power play in the league, will go on the skater advantage with Michaela Long going to the box. Boston 24% on the power play. They are 12 of 50 on the advantage this season. The Whale have been really good as of late on the penalty kill, 83.1% on the season. Hilary Knight in the corner. Rimmed around back to the left wing side. Here's Gigi Marvin. Now to Brianna Decker. Back to Marvin at the point. To Decker, top of the left wing circle. Slap shot saved by Leonoff. It got through some traffic. Smelker with the net front presence. Part of that power play as well as Casey Bellamy. So Decker, Knight, Smelker, Marvin, and Bellamy for the Boston power play. The Connecticut Whale on the kill as Marvin winds and feints a slap shot. Big drive right side as that was blocked in front. Puck rolling along the goal line, never crossed. Play continues. Knight had a great opportunity from the doorstep. Bounded around a little bit. Tickled the goal line, never got through, and play continues. A huge break for Jamie Leonoff in the Whale. As Knight played it in, 2-on-0. She has Decker in front. Here's the pass, shot. Oh, and she dragged it wide. A beautiful pass by Hilary Knight, and Decker was right there. That would have been an easy goal, but she couldn't corral the pass. Dragged the shot wide of the near post. And the Whales so far in this penalty kill, 2 huge breaks as the game remains scoreless. 1:12 remaining in the penalty on Long. Danielle Ward to take the draw with Dempsey. Second power play unit out there for Boston. Kazumi along with Ward, joined by Engstrom and Brickner on the Connecticut Whale penalty kill. As Boston will skate it from right to left, led by Pelkey. Pelkey in across the line. Skates it all the way to the far wing corner. Hickle and Dempsey also up front. Marissa Gedman, Blake Bolden working the points. From the right point, Bolden cross ice to the left wing side. Back to the center point. Gedman with a drive, kicked away by Leonoff. And along the near wing boards, it's flown out of the zone. A good clear by Danielle Ward with 30 seconds remaining in the Long penalty. First man advantage for Boston in this game. And here come the Pride from right to left. Led once again by Zoe Hickle. Drop back off. Pelkey cross ice to the left side. Marissa Gedman will slide it in. Hickle waits for it behind the net. Quickly snapped up the near wing boards by the Whale as Connecticut's Kaleigh Fratkin got it out. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the first as the Pride skate in. Gigi Marvin looking in front for Dempsey. Pass fails to click. Puck is slapped off the near boards. Bellamy couldn't hold the zone. Boston regroups at center. Long out of the box. It's back to 5-on-5. So Boston 0 for 1 on the power play. Still a scoreless first period. 1:45 remaining. Fratkin for the Whale gets there first in the far wing corner against Corinne Bowie. Now pinching toward the far wing corner, Rachel Lannis. Lannis knocked off the puck. Regained by Shannon Doyle. She'll drop it back toward the corner. Rimmed around to the near side. Doyle is there. Played softly up the near wing boards for Brittany Doherty. Got it out to center. Bellamy gloves it down along the near wing side. And Cook will shovel it in for the Pride. As the Whale unable to get it out. Back to the point again for Bellamy. Moves it down herself. Thrown out in front. Sticked away by Leonoff. Lannis was right there trying to get to the other end of that pass. Jamie Leonoff, a very important part of this first period. 15 saves for her. Unofficially, those numbers coming off the scoreboard as we're down to 1 minute remaining in the first. No score in the game. On the near wing side, Smelker, rink wide pass. Wolfiler tried to jump in and couldn't handle it for the Whale. Boston, Scagliardi sends it up the middle. Icing negated after it was played off the stick of Jamie Leonoff in her crease. And we'll have a face-off back in the Connecticut zone with 44.4 remaining in this first period. No score in the game. Shots are 16-10 for Boston. Hilary Knight to take the draw for the Boston Pride. She lost the face-off. There's Tara Tamimoto. Back over to Kazumi. Kazumi tied up, turned it over. Quick shot off the post. A backhand shot from the right wing circle by Smelker. Had a lot of mustard on that one. Still no score. Gagliardi tried to backdoor a slap pass to Decker in front. She was bowled over. And now the Connecticut Whale have it out to center with 20 seconds to play in the period. Tamimoto to the left wing side. Alyssa Wolfiler as Decker able to back play it into her own zone. Now over to Blake Bolden. Bolden rimmed ahead for Knight. Hilary Knight tracks it down. 6 seconds to go in the period. Long pass ahead. Here's Smelker. Try to find the trailing Gagliardi. Nice pressure by Tamimoto of Connecticut. Got the puck out of the way, and the horn sounds as we're 20 minutes in the books. Scoreless hockey here in Stamford, Connecticut. Not for a lack of trying on both sides. Unofficially, Boston with 17 first period shots. They went 0 for 1 on the power play. The Connecticut Whale 0 for 2. On the advantage through 20 minutes of action. So both teams will retire to their respective dressing rooms for the first intermission. And we ask that you don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a little bit on NWHL Cross Ice Pass. At the end of one, it's the Boston Pride 0 and the Connecticut Whale 0 right here on NWHL Cross Ice Pass. Welcome you back to Chelsea Piers in Stamford, Connecticut, as we get set for the second period between the Connecticut Whale and the Boston Pride here on NWHL Cross Ice Pass. I'm Phil Jubileo on hand here as the Whale look to get back in the win column. They fell to this Boston team 4-1 up at Harvard right before the All-Star break 2 Sundays ago. Of course, last Sunday, the NWHL All-Star Classic weekend, the All-Star Game weekend up at Harbor Center in Boston. As you had Hilary Knight's team losing to the host captain, Emily Falzer, the Buffalo captain. They kind of made mincemeat of them in the skills competition. They added all of the points from the skills competition and then goals from the game. So Team Knight really had an insurmountable deficit by the time that game started. As we get set for the second period, Jamie Leonoff is in the crease to our right. Brittany Ott in the crease to our left. Officially now the shot numbers after one period of play: Boston 13, the Connecticut Whale with 5. The scoreboard hasn't been corrected, but we do get the official numbers off of the game sheet. Boston went 0 for 1 on the power play. The Connecticut Whale 0 for 2 on the advantages. They're talking right now with their new head coach, Heather Lindstad, who was just appointed to the spot on Friday. Today, really her first interaction with the team. Assistant coach Lisa Giovanelli-Zuba ran the practice on Thursday night after Jake Mastel resigned literally right before the practice. He turned in his resignation. It was immediate. It was before practice. Coach Zuba ran the practice. On Friday, they announced Heather Lindstad being appointed the head coach of the Whale for the remainder of the season. Just a few weeks left in the regular season, and then the postseason taking place during the first half of the month of March. The format set, but no official locations have been announced just yet. And there's still a little bit of a delay here before we get set for the second period. The Pride players are waiting. I'm not sure exactly what the issue of the delay is. I don't know if there's an issue with the ice surface. The referees are talking to each other. Mark McGinnis, Paul Maszczewski, the referees. Andre Clement, Alex Temper are the lines crew for this game. Oh, now we're ready. As the face-off won by Kelly Stack, Boston quickly back with it. Decker in across the line to the left wing side. Quick shot. That one deflected away. Good chance early on for Jordan Smelker. And a deflection in just seconds into this second period, 12 seconds in. The Pride had a scrum in front. Leonoff ended up on her backside, and Boston takes a 1-0 lead. We'll see if Gigi Marvin gets credit for that goal. She came out of the celebration. Again, just saw a mass of humanity in front of that Boston net. So we'll see who gets credit for the goal. Just 12 seconds in. Here's Boston again. A quick shot by Decker from the right circle. Well, Decker's getting credited. So Decker from Bellamy, 12 seconds into period number 2. Decker with her 8th goal of the season. They came out with a head of steam, bull rushing their way to the net. Kelly Stack won that opening faceoff, but gave it right away to Boston, and then they started with momentum. And now here come the Pride again. Hilary Knight from the right wing side. She'll glide in to Decker in the slot. Poked away by Engstrom to the corner. And now Decker in behind the net. Side of the goal for Knight. Engstrom able to rim it around to the far wing boards. Alyssa Wolfeiler sends it to her left side. Jess Kazumi out through the neutral zone. 3-on-3 she comes in. Flanked by 2 yellow sweaters. Dumped in behind the net. And Marissa Genman softly backhands it up the left wing boards. Fratkin jumps in. She'll activate toward the corner, looking for the game-tying goal. Coming around, loose puck, deflected off his stick, and late to the left point Along the left wing side was Anya Battolino, and she'll take it out at the neutral zone area and drive it back in. Bolden looking for Knight. Taken away by Danielle Ward. Try to slash towards the net. Lost control of the puck, and now Knight will drop it back to Bolden. Around now for Marissa Gedman. Battolino, who can play both defense and forward, working as a forward today, draws the penalty a minute 35 into the second. A hooking call against Boston, and the Whale will get their third power play. Good work by Anya Battolino. Draws the penalty against Gedman. 1:35 is the time of the call. So Connecticut looking for the game-tying goal on the power play for the third time. Gigi Marvin behind the net, battles Kazumi. Connecticut gains control. Stack left circle, in front, jamming away was Kazumi, but Brittany Ott is there. And she had her pads parallel to the ice surface, able to make a nice save. With the minute 48 gone by to the second. Boston a 1-0 lead, the Pride on top. A Brianna Decker goal just 12 seconds into period number 2. Brickner can't hold the point. Lannis hustling hard after it, able to get it out to center, but the trailing Fratkin, she'll gain control of it, but Lannis will continue to force her deep back. And now here comes Connecticut. From the left wing side, Stack with a ton of speed, gliding into the slot, toe drag, hacked away by Marvin toward the corner. Stack trying to get to it again. Casey Bellamy rims it hard and through, and that's where you miss a person like Cheyenne Darkangelo. 9 goals to lead the team, gifted goal scorer. Kate Buser, also a very dynamic offensive player, the former Harvard standout. It's a big hit in behind the net. You had a collision. Looks like that penalty's going to go against the Connecticut Whale. Fratkin banging bodies with Alyssa Gagliardi. We'll see who gets called for the penalty. Looks like that's going to come out of the zone, and they both may be penalized for that. We'll see. It's right now Fratkin, the only one going to the box. It's just on her. So that'll make it 4-on-4 for the first time tonight. A legal check to call. I think they might have actually called that a roughing. Either way, 2:31. Time of the penalty on Kaleigh Fratkin. So we have 4-on-4 for the next 1 minute. And then Boston will have a 56-second power play. Decker's one-timer from the slot deflected. Shannon Doyle now for Danielle Ward. Long out there as well, along with Molly Engstrom. The Whales skated in. Long trying to reach after it. She loses it to Decker and drops it back behind the net to Casey Bellamy. Marvin and Knight also out there. Here's Marvin. Moves it ahead, Decker, right on the tape of the Connecticut line. Takes it to the corner. Looks around for Hilary Knight, the two co-captains on the ice. Knight top of the crease, diving is Leonoff. Jamie makes the save. And no further play with 16:52 remaining in period 2. 1-0 Boston on top. Next Sunday, the Connecticut Whale at home at the Danbury Ice Arena. 12:30 to face off of that one. Tickets are available, nwhl.co. For all your ticket information for all league games. Here come the Whale. Stack with a saucer pass to the zone. Doherty moving to her right. Try to slide a pass in front as Stack came up the right side and never got there. Puck comes back into the Connecticut zone. Sharp angle shot from the left wing side. Stopped as Dempsey denied by Leonoff. And now here come the Whale again, led by Stack. Cleveland area native glides in onside to the slot. Shoots one out with the save. A great look by Kelly Stack. Puck out to the point. And a little collision there as Doherty tied up with Zoe Hickel of Boston. Thrown back in behind the Pride net. Pride now on the power play for 40 seconds. It's their second man advantage. Pelkey coughs it up in the neutral zone. Coming in across the line, Wolfeiler lost the puck briefly. Lifted out by Blake Bolden. And retrieved back in the Connecticut zone by Brickner as she found Wolfeiler ahead. But a bit too far, and now the Pride will regroup. Along the left wing side, it's Pelkey skating in. On the half boards to Marvin. Gigi Marvin, she moves to her right. Here's Gigi in the right wing circle. Marvin in the corner. Coming behind the net, working in Gretzky's office. Wayne Gretzky, by the way, celebrated his birthday. He's 55 years old now. Where is time gone? back in the corner as they work it up toward the point. Bellamy there for the Pride. Winds around a sliding Wolfiler. Now a wrist shot deflected wide of the near wing post. Back to Zoe Hickel. It's back to 5-on-5 meanwhile. Pride 0 for 2 now on the power play, but a 1-0 lead for Boston. Early in this second period, 15-10 remaining. Bellamy to Marvin right side. Cross ice in the slot. Knight with a rifle shot, and she scores. Or check that. Smelker just jumped on. I saw the one. They're both tall players, or is it Knight? Knight and Smelker both discussing it as Boston takes a 2-0 lead with 15:03 remaining here in this second period. Quick goal here scored by Boston. 4:57 is the time of the goal for the Pride. Thought I saw Knight take that shot, but coming out of the celebration looked like Smelker. Let's see. It is Smelker with the goal from Marvin and Bellamy, and for Jordan Smelker, she now has goals in 4 straight games. That's her 7th of the season. And here's Smelker again with the Pride up 2-0 to the slot. Here's Decker. Backhand shot deflected away. And now the Whale trailing 2-0. Get it out to center as Engstrom slips. No call. She lost an edge. And Hilary Knight for Boston will play it back in behind their own net. Drops it off for Bolden. Cross ice to the left side. Played out towards center ice. Bolden back with it for Smelker. And regained out in the neutral zone. Knifed down nicely by Stack. Lost it to Smelker. Took a hit along the boards. Now it's Hilary Knight barreling in with a shot. And she scores. No doubt that time. Hilary Knight coming down the right wing side. It's now 3-0 Pride. 5:46. Time of the goal. So Smelker and Knight. Knight's goal should be unassisted. Came off a steal. 49 seconds apart are the 3 goals. Boston held this, or should I say the Whale held that Boston team scoreless for the first 20 minutes. They're going to give Smelker an assist on the Knight goal for Hilary Knight. Her 12th goal of the season that leads the Pride. She now has a 7-game goal scoring streak with 14 points during that stretch, 8 of them by lighting the back of the net. So Boston, in the blink of an eye, a seemingly insurmountable advantage here on the road. This is the Boston Pride team that everyone expected early in the season. They dropped a couple of early games to the New York Riveters. Their only loss during this 6-0-1 stretch was an overtime defeat to the Buffalo Buttes. Meanwhile, everybody falling on the ice right now. Fratkin takes a spill behind her own net. Connecticut looking to recover. Rolling puck, Kazumi back with it, try to settle it down. Has it stolen by Emily Field. And now Field to the high slot. Here's Dempsey shooting. And Leonoff recovers to make the save with 13-16 remaining in period number 2. With the Boston Pride up 3-0. Decker, Smelker, and Knight are the goal scorers. Don't know what Jay said to this Boston team in the locker room. I don't know if he had to say anything. A lot of skill on this club. Taking it to Connecticut right now. Zoe Hickel moving it down to Dempsey. In the corner, Katja Smolensova around for Engstrom. And now rimmed up the near wing side. Battolino gets it out. Played back in the Boston zone by Gedman. Cross ice for Gigi Marvin. Marvin back to Gedman. Now to the left side. Connecticut skating just 14 today with the absence of Cheyenne Darkangelo. The other scratches for the Whale, Kate Buser, Lindsey Berman, and Sam Faber out with that injured arm, as well as Katja Pashkevich. There's Bolden from the left wing point. Try to slide it down the boards. Kelly Stack comes away with it. 1-on-4 through center. Try to put a shot and gets it toward the net as it lobbed high in the air. Leonoff gloves it with 11:33 to play in the middle frame. The Pride with 3 goals inside the first 6 minutes of period number 2 by Decker, Smelker, and Knight. Marvin looking to the left side on a D-to-D pass for Casey Bellamy, and it creeps across the blue line. Boston regroups. Alyssa Wolfeiler out there, joined by Jessica Kazumi. And rounding out that forward line is Babstock. Here's Kazumi, left side, shoots one. Try to find the short side on Brittany Ott, and she's able to stop it with 11:13 to go in the period. So a change on defense as Fratkin comes on along with Shannon Doyle. Hilary Knight able to take the puck away from Babstock. Now across to the left wing side. Decker finding Bellamy, or check that Knight. She was offside. The faceoff will come out to center with 9 minutes played to the second. 3-0 Boston on top. Earlier today was a Buffalo and New York Riveters game. That was the afternoon contest up at Harbor Center. As we take a look quickly at the final of that one, it was the Buttes over the Riveters, 4-2. Puck loose in front. Rachel Lannis tied up by Shannon Doyle. Connecticut trying to get it out. One Whale skater lost an edge. Lannis off her skate. Had it poked toward the corner by Kaleigh Fratkin. And the puck rimmed around back to the far wing. Emily Field for the Pride. Field coming around the net back to the right wing side. Looks in front. This Boston team is peaking at the right time of the season. They start the day 3 points behind the Connecticut Whale for the top spot in the league. And that really at this point just played for seeding. These two teams will finish 1 and 2. Sharp angle try from the corner by Bolden is tucked in by Leonoff, and play stops with 10:05 remaining to the second period. Again, as I mentioned, it's all seeding at this point. Everyone makes the playoffs. And it's a best of 3 first round matchup after the regular season ends. The Whale can't finish below second, neither can the Pride. But right now it's a matter of who plays the number 4 seed. And there's a lot of competition between that Buffalo-New York rivalry for that position. So who the first round seedings are going to be in the playoffs here in about a month is still anyone's guess. Still a lot of hockey to be played, even in an 18-game season. Pass in front, deflected in by Stack. Oh, what a goal by Kelly Stack as the Whale get on the board at 10:06 of period number 2. Good sharp angle pass from the right wing corner, and Stack extends her point scoring streak now to 6 games. .10:06. Time of the goal. And here's Kelly Stack again from the center line, shooting it in. So Stack credited with the goals. The puck is deflected out of play. Doherty and Engstrom with the assist on the goal by Kelly Stack. At 10:06 of period number 2 for Stack, her 7th of the season as we go into the immediate timeout. Now the Whale find themselves down 2, and you know, coaches always talk about when players are out of the lineup, other people have to step up. And you know, we're not talking about Kelly Stack here. She's a top player on this team. She's the highest paid player in the entire NWHL, making $25,000 for the season. The salaries are all public record. They're easily found on the NWHL website. So not a surprise to see her, but you know, Brittany Doherty gets her 3rd assist of the season. The great pass from the corner, streaking down the right side. That's textbook on her part. So a big setup there. Is, you know, for a good chunk of the season, that top line was Kelly Stack with Jess Kazumi along with Sam Faber. Faber's out of the lineup. Darkangelo's out of the lineup. So now you have Michaela Long and Brittany Doherty, and they were used to skating on the line with Danielle Ward centering kind of that grit and grind line. Now they've got to play with a completely different type of player, an offensive dynamo in Kaleigh Fratkin. Right now, Brittany Doherty out of the University of Maine, holding up her end of the bargain. Will win the draw. Fratkin with a drive, whistled wide by Brittany Ott. Brickner with it back to the left wing side. So the Whales showing life here halfway through the second, down now by 2. As Jess Kazumi in the corner, looking over for Alyssa Wolf-Filer, had it poked away. Brianna Decker looking to the left side. The pass was a bit too far for Smelker. Now she'll take it back, walks in front, shoots one, blocked out in front. Nicely stopped by Leonoff. The play is still live. Wraparound try, and Leonoff there by the side of the goal to deny Hilary Stack. Hilary Knight is denied. Good wraparound there by Knight, as Leonoff nearly stacked the pads there to make that save, and she was able to kind of tuck it, kind of stack them along the far post, and then was able to hold on with 9:12 remaining. Here in the second period, 3-1. Boston on top. Danielle Ward behind her net. Now over to Katya Smolentseva. Lobbed ahead for Battolino, and then upended in the neutral zone was Ward. Here's Battolino with a slap shot, fired it in. And it looked like another play behind the puck. Danielle Ward got tripped up, trying to skate into the Boston zone. Good hard slap shot there by Anya Battolino from the left point. She kind of joked about her slap shot when she did color commentary with us a couple of weeks ago about how, talking about accuracy and, up at BU with Kaleigh Fratkin, her accuracy. That was a good accurate slap shot there, as the penalty against number 11 of Boston, Jordan Smelker. Fourth power play. Now a loose puck. Hilary Knight takes it short-handed, right circle shot, blocker save, rebound, score! Brianna Decker, a juicy rebound in front, gets the short-handed goal for Boston, and they lead it 4-1 as Decker picks up her second. .11:20, time of the goal. The Pride back on top by 3. So 18 seconds into that penalty. And now we have a timeout here by the Connecticut Whale, as their new head coach, Heather Lindstad, trying to talk things over as Decker picks up her 9th of the season. She had a hat trick back on October 25th. And now she has an opportunity to pick up her second hat trick of the season. So the second shorthanded goal scored by the Boston Pride this season, the fourth allowed by the Connecticut Whale. So coming out of the timeout, Jamie Leonoff is going to stay in net. That was just too big of a rebound to let up. Hilary Knight came in the right side and put that one right on net. Leonoff just directed it with her blocker right to Decker, who was unmarked. Not exactly quite sure what she was trying to start there in terms of just maybe not getting the right direction along that blocker. I want to put that one along the boards. I want to put it right on a player's stick. Here's Kaleigh Stack trying to take things over herself, and she puts it on net from the right wing side with 8:30 remaining in the second. 4-1 Boston leading behind a pair of goals by Decker. Hilary Knight with a goal and an assist. And got Jordan Smelker with a goal and an assist in this game. So 3 multi-point scorers for Boston. Stack won the draw, but the puck creeps across the blue line, and now way out of the crease is Leonoff, saucers it ahead to the right side. Fratkin to Kazumi. Shoveled in past Casey Bellamy of Boston. 1:20 remaining in the Smelker call. 4-1 score. Boston on top by 3 for the second time in the period. They had a 3-0 lead before Stack scored. And now extended by the shorthanded tally by Brianna Decker. And now it's Zoe Hickel shorthanded. Hickel back in the right wing corner. Gets around Jordan Brickner. In the far wing corner, it's dropped back over for Kaleigh Fratkin, and Fratkin will hold on. Fratkin outlets to the left wing side. Whale with it to center. Alyssa Wolfeiler having some trouble. Back over to Fratkin. Left wing pass directed back to Bolden of Boston. Blake Bolden moves it down with 40 left in the penalty on Smelker. 7:35 to play in the period. Boston with a 3-goal lead over the Whale. Doherty tried to skate across the line. Poked away back to Hilary Knight. And the Boston captain will get it clear. That short-handed goal took a lot of the wind out of the Whale faithful here at the Chelsea Piers as Knight banks it off the glass and again back. Very methodical penalty kill here by the Pride with a short-handed goal to boot. Now unchecked down the right wing side. Here's Danielle Ward trying to move in, try to toe drag, got her stick caught up a bit as it's back to 5-on-5 hockey. The Whale now 0 for 4 on the power play. Long saucer pass up the left side. Deflected in by Bowie. She goes around Engstrom in front with a shot. Save made by Leonoff. Unofficially 27 shots to 16 in favor of Boston. Although the official number was 13-5 after one. I don't believe they edited the scoreboard here at the Chelsea Piers main rink. Danielle Ward fished off the far boards but gave it right back. Gigi Marvin with a pass ahead for Lannis. Poked away by Engstrom. Lannis with it for the Pride in the corner. They're changing on the fly as Cook comes in and gets a shot off from the left wing circle that whistles wide. She'll track down her own rebound against Battolino. And now Ward gets it back to the near wing corner as it's played up the wall. Battolino able to fish it out to center ice, regained by Bolden. To the left side for Gagliardi. Good hard pass along the ice back to Cook. Cook goes around a sliding Engstrom shot and a save. The rebound top of the crease, Corinne Bowie, and she forces it wide against a whole bunch of bodies in front. Back to the point for Bolden. Goes around a sliding skater, thrown out in front and directed wide by Rachel Lannis. That was a good slap pass as the puck at the left point neatly held in by Gagliardi. She gives it away, and now it's Smolensova in across the line to the left wing side. Keeps a shot along the ice that Ott had a little bit of trouble with, and then Smolensova goes into the boards along the left wing side and she's hurt. And play finally stops as Katja Smolensova got clipped going into the corner, and the fans here wondering why there's not a call. Now the officials will congregate to see if there was anything worth calling a penalty on, but none of the officials saw anything. Smolensova moving around and she's back up on her feet and appears to be okay. I think she just lost an edge. If she got hit to the ice or knocked down on the ice, I didn't see it. The shot that she put at the center point got dragged toward the net, and the play continued on there as she kind of drifted to her left and went into the boards. But the Whale athletic trainer will have a look at her as she goes to the bench and stays on there. But she was able to quickly get out. That's a tough loss. Katja Smolensova has been red hot as of late during the month of January. 6 points on a couple of goals. She was held without a point in the 4-1 loss up at Boston 2 weeks ago. And now here's Michaela Long with a backhand shot, right circle. Save made by Ott. Fired out of the zone by the Pride. Brickner racing back after it as Dempsey closed the gap. And we do have a penalty here. Going back the other way, interference, and it will be on Connecticut, and it will be on Kelly Stack. So Stack to the box. Third power play for the Boston Pride. They're 0 for 2. 14:57 is the time of the penalty on Stack, who has the lone Whale goal. Connecticut has 3 shorthanded goals on the season. It's a hard team to do that against. There's Marvin to Decker to Knight. You got to be on your heels here against a team like this. Really think defensive minded. Marvin at the point. Pass to the right circle for Bellamy. Poke to the boards by Engstrom. Smelker in the corner behind the net. Knight feeds it back to Decker. And the rink wide pass deflected out of the zone by Alyssa Wolfeiler. Wolfeiler along with Babstock, Engstrom, and Doyle on the penalty kill. Here comes Boston. Decker onside, 2 goals already, 1 shorthanded. Hands to Hilary Knight. Knight back towards the point. To Knight left side with a drive. Saved by Leonoff. She tucks it in with 4:12 remaining in this middle period. 69 seconds remaining in the Kelly Stack penalty. Face off to stay back in the Whale zone. Ward and Kazumi up front. Fratkin and Brickner back. Boston won the draw, but Marissa Gedman unable to keep the zone. She's paired with Blake Bolden. Pelkey up front with Hickel, along with Jillian Dempsey, as Boston inadvertently ices the puck. With 58 seconds remaining in Stack's penalty, the faceoff will come back the other way. Boston with their second power play unit on the ice. And we'll see what Ward does here on the faceoff. The player of the week after she had 3 goals in 2 games back on the 9th and 10th of this month. That game up on the 9th was played at Ingles Rink in New Haven, home of the Yale Bulldogs. And now a slap pass ahead. A good feed by Kaleigh Fratkin, looking for the streaking Ward. Never could get it on her stick. Raced back for it in the corner, and that allowed Bolden to get back and finally play it here for the Whale. Or check that for the Pride against the Whale. Hickel with it through center. In across the line. Trying to move her way out in front. Got caught up with Jordan Brickner. And the net is not completely off its pegs. Play stops with 24 seconds remaining in the Kelly Stack penalty. 4-1 Boston. Decker scored 12 seconds into the middle period from Bellamy at 4:57. It was Smelker from Marvin and Bellamy. Under a minute later, Knight from Smelker. At 10:06, the Whale got theirs as Doherty set up Kelly Stack for her 7th. Molly Engstrom, the secondary assist. And then short-handed at 11:20, it was Knight feeding Decker for her 2nd of the game and 9th of the season. 10 seconds left in the Whale penalty kill. Marvin tied up for Boston in front of the Connecticut Whale bench. Puck back to Hilary Knight inside the Pride zone. Cross ice to Bellamy. Out of the box is Stack. She'll stay out there. Takes it away from Gigi Marvin. And now kicked up the far wing boards as Bellamy will track it back for the Pride. She'll stop behind her net. Under 3 minutes to play here in the second. Boston now 0 for 3 on the power play, but they have a 4-1 lead as Decker looking for Knight. Nearly tied up. She caught a little off balance at the blue line. Finally forced out to the neutral zone. Kelly Babstock ahead. Michaela Long down the left wing side. Long in front. Stick saved by Ott. And now Stack back with it here with 2.5 to go. Stack try to wind it around the boards. Pride come away with it. As Brianna Decker trying to deliver a diagonal pass. Drops it back to Bellamy to the right wing side. Now Decker to the left. Smelker skates in. Goes around Kazumi to the slot for Brianna Decker. And swept clear to the near wing boards by Kelly Babstock. Back to the left side. A big drive by Blake Bolden is directed high. Hilary Knight back with it. Try to feed it down the boards. Tied up by Babstock. Kazumi trying to move ahead with it. And it's forced back the other way onto the Connecticut netminder's Leonoff stick. And she'll hold on with 1:51 left to the second period. Face off to stay back in the Whale zone to our right. Still plenty of hockey to be played in this one between the Whale and the Pride. Well, the Whale have had their share of third period comebacks. Very tough team to come back against, though. But they'll try it here. Danielle Ward up the right side. Tries to get around Gagliardi. She falls down. Ward keeps her feet moving. She had a girl up in the crease. That was Anya Battolino at the top of the hash marks, and the pass went beyond her reach. As a rink-wide pass to the right wing side. Smolensova skates in. Turns it over to Bolden. Good to see Smolensova back in. Now a 3-on-1. Bolden to Hickel, who was way offside, and they'll stop that. With 1:14 remaining in period number 2. The Boston Pride 4, the Connecticut Whale 1. Speaking of the Boston Pride, everyone that follows the NWHL, pretty much anyone who follows hockey, knows about the tragic accident to Denna Lang playing in the Winter Classic on New Year's Eve. If you want to learn more about her organization, it's denalang.org, DENNALAING.org, on more information about Dena, how she's going to go about her treatment, and how you could donate to her trust. As Hickel from the left side puts it in on net, and the save made by Leonoff. 50.2 seconds remaining here in the period. It's also defending the blue line night. Defending the blue line, raising funds for hockey equipment and gear for the children of those in the armed forces, in the military. Defending the Blue Line, just do a Google search. Defendingtheblueline.org is the website address. Those are the camouflage jerseys being worn today in honor of that. Marvin with her right side puts a low shot in on Leonoff, and she holds on with 36.2 remaining in the second. Face off to stay back in the Wales zone. Now, Connecticut Whales started off their season whipping off a series of victories before losing back on December 27th, 2-1 to Boston, as Shannon Doyle gets tripped in the neutral zone and draws the penalty, as the Whale will get their fifth power play to close out this second period. But after Jake Mastel resigned this week, Heather Lindstad taking over on short notice as the head coach, and off to a bit of a rough start in her tenure. So 19:34 time of the penalty. Shot from the point, blocked and deflected out of the zone. Smelker in the box for the third time in this game. Or check that, second time in this game, second time in the period. 5 seconds to go. Leonoff with it in front of her net will just shoo it aside, and the Whale will get 1 minute and 35 seconds of power play time to begin period number 3. But it was all Boston in the second period. 4 goals, including 2 by Brianna Decker, 1 shorthanded at 11:20 of the second. Kelly Stack with a goal for the Connecticut Whale, her 7th of the season. Stack now with goals, or points I should say, in 6 straight games. We'll take a timeout and come back with the third period in just a little bit. After 40 minutes of play, it's Boston 4 and the Connecticut Whale 1. You're watching the NWHL on Cross Ice Pass. And welcome back to the Chelsea Piers in Stamford, Connecticut. Phil Giubileo on hand as the Whale look to get back in the win column after they fell on the 17th up in Boston to this Pride team by a score of 4-1. That's the score, with the Pride also winning here after 40 minutes of play. So Connecticut in danger of a 2-game losing streak for the first time in their franchise's history. The Whale will have a power play for the first minute and 35 seconds to begin the third, with Jordan Smelker in the box for a tripping call at 19:24 of the second. Stack, Babstock, Kazumi, Brickner, and Fratkin will open up on the power play. Decker with Knight, Bellamy, and Gigi Marvin on the penalty kill to start the third for the Pride as Fratkin slaps it in. Now Babstock off her stick. Stack, chip toward the corner. Kazumi up towards the boards. Now to Fratkin right side. Whistled off the boards wide. Brickner at the half wall. Little give and go with Babstock. Now back across to the point again. Babstock having trouble against Bellamy. Falls, finds Stack in the corner, walks in, shoots. Ott got a piece of it. Brianna Decker from behind her net slams it up the boards and through. 55 remaining to the Smelker penalty. Long outlet ahead by Leonoff as the Whale play it back in, side of the goal. Brittany Ott chipped toward the corner and played back toward the point. Unable to keep it onside was Shannon Doyle, and the face-off will come out to the far dot right by the Boston Pride penalty box. So the face-off will be won back by Alyssa Gagliardi. She'll play it across to the near wing boards. Zoe Hickel there in her zone. Gagliardi moves it to the right side. Blake Bolden ahead for Jillian Dempsey. She's cut off. 28 left to the penalty on Smelker. Gagliardi with a poke check. Back with it was Long to dump it into the Boston Pride zone is Blake Bolden. Played off the glass over the outstretched gloved hand of Molly Engstrom. And Leonoff will play it back off the near side boards. Engstrom casually gets it out towards center ice. Dempsey, a lot of hustle in her game. Trying to pressure as Doyle gets it over to Alyssa Wolfeiler. Back to 5-on-5 hockey here as the Whale trail by 3 early in this third period. Long toward the slot, loose there. Quick shot by Danielle Ward, and it's gloved low by Ott. And it remains a 4-1 Boston lead, 1:48 into this third period. Back along the far wing. Jordan Brickner pinching. Marissa Gedman gets it back around. Marvin to the near wing boards. At the point, Tommy Moto keeps it alive, but Marvin able to retrieve it, moves it back to Corinne Bowie. Bowie looking up ice. Rachel Lannis, Cook rounding out that line for the Pride. The Whales start behind their zone, and now it's back along the near wing. Fire toward the corner, Ward there. Around for Brickner. Smolensova waiting for it along the near side. Gets it over to Tommy Moto. Here's Cook. Over to Brickner. Brickner along the far wing. Tied up along the far wing side. And now moved ahead. Long stretch pass. Pride play it back the other way. Here's Hilary Knight. Drop pass Gagliardi with a drive, and Leonoff makes the save before Smelker knocked the net completely off its moorings. We'll have a face-off in the Connecticut Whale zone. Shots in the second period. Boston had 17. The Whale had none. After 40 minutes, the shots were 30-14. Next weekend, Boston will play on Saturday night. They'll play at the Aviator Sports Complex against the Riveters as we get a stoppage in play here. And I think the net again knocked off its pegs. They'll have to reset the Whale net with 2:58 gone by in this period. And then Buffalo will be in town a week from today as they will take on the Connecticut Whale on Super Bowl Sunday, and that's going to be a game that will be played at the Danbury Ice Arena in Danbury, Connecticut. Bit of a bigger building, about 2,100 seats. So a little bit more room to stretch if you want to come on out to the game. You don't have to be as tightly knit as you are here when watching a game at Chelsea Piers. Also perhaps a different spot for a lot of you other fans to kind of get to a game a bit easier maybe than to Stamford, Connecticut, depending on where you are in the state, as the puck is iced by the Whale with 3:32 gone by in this third period. The face-off will come back the other way. Dempsey, Hickle up front along with Amanda Pelkey. Gedman on defense with Marvin for the moment. Connecticut looking to make up a 3-goal deficit here at home when trailing after 2 periods of play. The Whale 2-2 on the season, and that includes a loss on the 17th to this Boston team. Jillian Dempsey, number 3 for the Pride. From the left wing circle, her shot caught up in the gear of the defenseman. And a hit along the near wing side. That was Fratkin battling. Moved up the ice to Brittany Doherty. She'll backhand it out towards center ice, and Pelkey will regroup back in the Pride zone for Boston. Marvin, long pass up the left side. Hickle was unmarked coming up the left wing. Never got to it at the line. And an icing called instead on the Pride with 15:48 to go. So that brings the face-off back into the Boston zone. And a bit of a break, as Zoe Hickle would have had a good chance at potting her 3rd goal of the season. Dempsey will face off against Babstock. It is Babstock with Kazumi and Wolfeiler. Tommy Moto on defense along with Molly Engstrom. Wolfeiler in the corner. Lost the battle to Gigi Marvin, who gets it out to the center red line. Tommy Moto will fire it back in. Smolentseva, after she got banged up in the second period, returned for one shift. I haven't seen her here in this third period. She is on the bench. There's a shot from the slot. Kazumi is robbed. A diving save by Brittany Ott. Snatches that out of midair and gets a stick tap from her teammate Jillian Dempsey with 15:12 to go. That might have been a drifting shot, although it was spectacular looking. The face-off will stay back in the Boston zone. There's Smolentseva out there. I hadn't seen her in this period yet. She's on the Danielle Ward line along with Anya Battolino, as the left wing shot is tucked in and held on to with no further play. 15:01 to go in this third period. 4-1 Boston on top. Field, Lannis, Corinne Bowie, Alyssa Gagliardi, and Blake Bolden on the ice for the Pride. Pride win the draw. Bowie with a shove on Fratkin, who goes around her to take the puck away. Now for Brickner, rubbed out by Lannis. 2-on-1 battle in the corner. Pride look for control. Ward digs in, as does Fratkin. Forced ahead, Field takes it away, and then she got stripped briefly by Smolentseva, but the Pride keep the Whale zone. Rachel Lannis, drop pass to the left side. Gagliardi, backdoor feed, looking for Field in front and went behind her. Battolino got it out towards center ice, and Smolentseva trying to streak up the wing, lost the handle. Back the other way comes Bolden to the right wing half boards against Fratkin. Now for Field as the Pride look to cycle. Feeds it at the point. Bolden, backhand shot Decker, blocked in front. She has 2 in this game, was looking for the hat trick. In the far wing corner, it's lobbed up the boards and taken out by the Whale to center ice. Shot in from the center line by Battolino with 14 minutes to play, and Brittany Ott has made some big saves in this game. Stops it behind her net, and here come the Pride from right to left. Here's Decker, right wing side toward the slot. She had Knight in front, and Knight scores. A beautiful feed by Decker in front, and all Knight had to do was keep her blade on the ice as she picks up her second. It's now 5-1 Boston. 6:12 time of the goal is Hilary Knight from Decker. So both Knight and Decker with 2 goals apiece. The two Team USA standouts playing to their pedigree tonight here in Stamford, Connecticut. Knight now with a team best 13 goals on the season. Bellamy with a couple of assists, but it was Decker that time as she picks up her 3rd point. So Hilary Knight, Brianna Decker each with 2 goals and 1 assist in this game. Here is Molly Engstrom. Drop pass, left side, the slap shot. Drifted wide after Ott got a piece of it. And now Gigi Marvin for Boston up ahead for Hilary Knight. Knight shoveled ahead for Smelker. A bit far for her, but she'll track it down in the corner against Engstrom, who won the battle. That allows Kelly Stack to come in and take control. Rink wide now for Shannon Doyle. Doyle back to Engstrom. Looks up ice for Babstock. Along the left wing side, Babstock skates in. Down the far wing, Wolfeiler kept it alive. Now to Kazumi, give and go back to Wolfeiler. Here's Wolfeiler, head of steam. Backhander in the slot, fanned on by Tara Tomimoto. As Zoe Hickel sends a long pass up the middle. Played by the Whale in their own zone. Tomimoto comes back for it. Pelkey gamely tried to battle for it. She never got her stick on that puck. And now Hickel looking to give it back to Amanda Pelkey. Little give and go in front. And Hickel couldn't get there as the Whale play it back from left to right. Babstock skates in, onside, got tripped up, no call. Puck in the corner. Dempsey banged up the boards to Pelkey. Pelkey fans on a centering pass. Puck creeps across the Boston Pride line. Kazumi poked it back into Boston space, but the Whale will change with 12:10 to play. 5-1 Boston leading Connecticut. It was scoreless after 20 minutes. It's been all Pride since. Danielle Ward from the corner trying to center a pass in front. She got it back. Ward looking. Her 2nd attempt was blocked. 3rd attempt never got there as it's taken away by Bowie in the slot. To Field, back to Bowie. In the neutral zone, she couldn't keep the handle on it. Smolentseva there, and she'll force it softly across the Boston line. Gave it away to Bellamy. Now Gagliardi, long right wing pass, Bowie to Rachel Lannis. Back to right circle, and Bowie with a shot. That stopped with 11:36 to go. Boston still on top by 4 goals. Well, a week of upheaval for the Connecticut Whale, the first trade in league history in a season where the league initially had said there weren't going to be any trades, but there was one nonetheless, a trade of backup goaltenders. Chelsea laid into the Riveters in exchange for Shanae Lundberg, who is dressed in the previous number worn by Layden, 78. Lundberg had worn number 1 for the Riveters. And then on Thursday night, Jake Mastel resigned, the coach for Connecticut, replaced by Heather Lindstad, announced on Friday. And this is her first day with the team. The practice was run on Thursday night by Lisa Giovanelli-Zuba, the assistant coach for this Connecticut team. You have Cheyenne Darkangelo banged up, so she's not available to play today. Your top goal scorer, and a lot going on after the All-Star break. As the puck is iced here by Boston with 10:42 to go. Still 5-1 Boston, the Pride peaking at the right time of the season. They'll be in Brooklyn on Saturday night. Those broadcasts next Saturday and Sunday can be seen on the NWHL Cross Ice Pass Network. I'll have the call for you in Danbury next Sunday. Matt Falkenberry will be with you as he fills in for Carmine Vetrano in Brooklyn on Saturday night. Here's Wolfeiler back on the right wing side. Top of the circle, a drop pass to Fratkin, lets one go. It drifts wide to the corner. Wolfeiler back over to Kelly Babstock. Babstock with a nice move. Decker poked it away towards the corner. And now Hilary Knight looks to get out of the zone. It came back to her teammate Gigi Marvin as Kazumi to the point. Poked out by Hilary Knight, and now it's Decker from her knees going cross ice with the pass that Smelker couldn't get to, and Babstock turns it up ice and drives it into the Boston zone. So we're under the halfway mark of period number 3. Boston leading the Whale by 4. Here's Decker looking to pile on to Gagliardi. Falls to a knee. Back to Decker in the corner. She and Hilary Knight with 2 goals each in this game, so we're on hat trick alert here in Stamford, Connecticut. For the visiting side this time, Smelker with the other goal from the point. Bolden with a drive. Leonoff never saw it, but it went wide. And along the near wing, it's Fratkin ahead for Smolensova. Down the right wing, Smolensova's had a really good January. Didn't get a point, though, in her last game up in Boston on the 17th. And now Dempsey leading a 2-on-1 for Boston. Walks all the way in, pass across, and Pelkey denied on a toe save by Leonoff as she kicked the net off its peg and flailing that away from Amanda Pelkey. And we get no further play with 9:09 left in this third period. Media timeout here with Boston leading 5-1. Here on the NWHL Cross Ice Pass Network as we retire for a brief timeout, the final one. Heather Lindstad in her first game coaching. We mentioned she had been at UConn, I believe, in her last 2 seasons with the Huskies. I saw they only won 7 games, but does have Division I coaching experience in the state. Proximity, I would imagine, plays a big part in this kind of midseason coaching change. It's not in a league where you only have 4 teams, you only have practices twice a week, where you have many of the players at the very least, and I presume the coaches perhaps as well with other jobs to go along with coaching their NWHL squads. Kind of hard to find someone on short notice to come on in and coach. And out of the media timeout, the face-off will be back in the Whale zone. Stack in on the draw, wins it from Dempsey. Rimmed around the boards, waiting on it. Brittany Doherty, long dump up the right side. Good job by Casey Bellamy to get her stick in the way. Now Doherty skates it back in. Was knocked down by Bellamy guarding the boards. Stack in the corner against Zoe Hickel. Stack chips it over to Michaela Long. Long there. She's tangled up with Bellamy with 8:40 to go. And now we got a penalty here behind the play. Kelly Stack was tripped up to the ice, and that'll be another power play for the Connecticut Whale. This will be their 6th. 11:20. Time of the penalty, this one on Dempsey. Well, Boston just daring Connecticut to do anything on the power play, and they have not been able to muster very much here offensively in this game in general. The lone goal scored by Kelly Stack back in the second period. A beautiful centering pass by Brittany Doherty that was deflected in by Stack at the top of the crease. Babstock in behind the net. Force at a left point. Good keep by Brickner. Moves it down the boards. Little give and go with Stack. Into the corner. Babstock tried to center it. Bellamy got in the way. She has been fantastic in this game. No one's getting anything past Casey Bellamy. Now loose in the crease. A shot and they score! Will get one on the power play. Jumping out was Brittany Ott looking to play the puck. And it'll look like number 13 for the Connecticut Whale, Kaleigh Fratkin, or check that, Kelly Babstock, number 8, was the one to get her stick on that. Coming toward the net. And we'll see who's credited with that goal at 8:09 remaining of the second. So finally, on the power play, the Whale get one there, 1 for 6. 11:51. Time of the goal for the Whale. Back to a 3-goal game. We'll see if Connecticut can get some life. It is Babstock with the goal for Babstock. That is her 7th of the season. As Michaela Long puts it in on Brittany Ott, she makes the save. Look like Kazumi is credited with the assist on the Babstock goal. So a 3-goal game here with about 7:45 to go. Danielle Ward's line on the ice. Controlled by Gagliardi, try to rim it up the boards. Fratkin with it at the point. To the left side, Brickner with a shot blocked by Hilary Knight. Danielle Ward kicks it around the Boston net. Smelker tracks it down. Right point kept alive by Fratkin. Over to Ward, pass in front, loose puck top of the crease. Wolfeiler with a shot, that's blocked. The Whale had chances, and now Boston with a 3-on-2. Here come the Pride in across the line. Decker to the trailing Smelker. She shoots, but Shannon Doyle was able to get a piece of it, and it's deflected into the netting with 7:07 to go in the third period. 5-2 game here at the Chelsea Piers in Stamford. And the face-off to the right of Leonoff. Control loose in the slot, diving Leonoff, and she is able to take away the backhand shot along the ice by Hickel. 7:02 to go, and a huge save by Jamie Leonoff to keep this a 3-goal game. And if the Whale have a chance, any chance of mounting what would be an unbelievable comeback, Leonoff has to be beyond fantastic. In reality, they just got to keep the puck out of that side of the ice. Engstrom with it for the Whale. Kick toward the corner. This is not a team where you bank the hopes of a victory on a third period comeback. We know the Whale have had their share of third period recoveries this season, both at home here in Stamford, on the road as well, but can't do that against this Boston team. Still 6.5 to go, and you'd assume the Pride still feeling pretty comfortable with a 3-goal lead. Puck in the corner. Dug out by Stack. Rink wide to Babstock. Gets it back to the center logo. Stack 1-on-5. The rest of the Whale changing up. Stack's going to take it all the way back out to center. Feeds a left wing pass for Wolfeiler. Top of the circle, shoots. It was off his stick, and it goes out of play. That gives the Whale an offensive zone draw with 6:05 to go. And it'll keep the face-off in the Pride end. As Kazumi with Long out there on the ice, along with Alyssa Wolfeiler, Kaleigh Fratkin, and Jordan Brickner. Blake Bolden for Boston, holding behind her net to the left wing side. Nearly turned over, finally coughed up at center, and then Wolfeiler gave it away to Field, who couldn't advance the puck very far, and the Whale get it back out at center ice. Kazumi tied up, Field skates in. Looking for Corinne Bowie. Falling down was Doyle. Lannis with it back along the left wing side. And in the corner, Kazumi there to shovel it back up to Fratkin, centering it. And she finds Michaela Long. Long through the neutral zone, in across. Long from the slot, trying to get around Alyssa Gagliardi. They both go back toward the corner. And the Pride rimmed the puck around the boards. Hustling hard that time was Fratkin. She went shoulder hard into the boards, as the Pride able to regain the puck at center, and Gagliardi from behind the center line will dump it in, and icing called with 5:09 left in regulation. 5-2 Boston, as the Whale will get an offensive face-off back in the Pride zone. Ward, Smolensova, Battolino with Engstrom and Shannon Doyle on the ice. Brianna Decker losing the face-off to Ward, but then skating quickly over was Smelker, who has the other Boston goal. 2 each by Decker. Here she is with the puck, rips one. That was blocked by Engstrom. And Hilary Knight with 2. But right now it's Decker to Gagliardi. Give and go to Decker, deflected on net, and a save by Leonoff. Decker again. Decker to the left. Gagliardi. Cross ice for Gigi Marvin. To Gagliardi left point. 4:40 to go in the third. 5-2 Pride on top of the Whale. And Smolensova will rip it hard around her net, back to the far wall. Battolino, long dump up the left wing, trying to find the streaking Ward, but Marvin just kept her stick on the ice. And the Pride with a late offside whistle bring it in with 4:26 to go. If you're Connecticut, you've got to do whatever you can to blow the zone, try to stretch your forwards up ice, gain opportunities offensively going down. That's pretty standard stuff when you're trailing by 3, but this Boston team is just so sound defensively. You talk about the goal scoring, and that's a big part of what they do, and you've got Hilary Knight and Brianna Decker, but their blue line's pretty solid. When you've got Marvin and Casey Bellamy and Alyssa Gagliardi, 3 standout defense for this Boston Pride team. Here's Cook for the Pride, can't get it past Fratkin. Sent it toward the circle. And then Gedman and Boldman are also pretty solid as those 4th, 5th defensemen on this team, and they're a bit more unheralded than the Team USA players. But they're the ones really keeping Connecticut from trying to hit some home run passes here late in this 3rd period. Another one tried that time by Babstock, lobbed it deep, caught by Doherty, slaps a sharp angle try that was deflected by Gigi Marvin. Play continues though as Kazumi from the corner try to put one on Brittany Ott, and it will rim back out to center where Doyle will take it and feed back into our own end for Molly Engstrom. Long pass up the right side. Here's Long to the left. Wolfiler skates in. Whale trail by 3. Wolfiler in the left wing corner. Looks, turns, shoots, deflected before it could get to Ott. Right back to her. Wolfiler try to move it to Long, taken away. And now here come the Pride from right to left. Dempsey with Hickel. Dempsey for Hickel in front. Put it on goal. A big save. Leonoff to stop. 2:54 to go. Still a 5-2 Boston lead here in Stamford, Connecticut. Beautiful save by Leonoff. There are a couple in this game she'd want to have back from that second period. The first one by Decker, the little scrum 12 seconds in. That short-handed one, Decker's second goal for Shores. That was a juicy rebound left in while they were on the power play after Knight put the first one in on goal. Jillian Dempsey for Hickel. Hickel behind the net. Comes around to the near side. Still with the puck on her stick, hands to the activating Gagliardi. Give and go with Pelkey, sliding to her right. Gagliardi never got a shot off. She'll play it back off the boards following a failed clear attempt by the Whale. Dempsey in the corner looking in front. Now taken away, but Gagliardi waits at the blue line, keeps it alive for Boston. 2:15 to go in the 3rd period, 5-2 Boston on top. Now Pelkey looking in the slot for Hickel, couldn't get there. Off the far boards, Anya Battolino along the left wing side will rip it just wide of Brittany Ott in net. Smolensova in the corner, wound around the boards, but Bellamy waits for it for the Pride. Took a stick to the gut there by Danielle Ward, lost his stick, that was Ward dropping hers. And now Hilary Knight will take it out 1-on-2 to the neutral zone. We'll see what Knight does here. Lobs the puck in the air, knifes it down. Had Decker in the slot briefly. She's forced out wide. Decker there to the left side. Marvin feints a one-timer, skates it down with 1:38 to go. 5-2 Boston on top. They're in the comfortable driver's seat here in Stamford, Connecticut, as it will likely be 1 point separating these two teams for the top spot in the NWHL here in the next 80 seconds. Pride with it deep. Bolden against the pressuring Babstock. Kelly Stack with it at center. Babstock and Knight, the 2 goal scorers for the Connecticut Whale. It's Smelker back the other way. Coming up on 1 minute to go. Smelker dumped in behind the net. Played by Hilary Knight. Final minute here of the 3rd. 5-2 Boston on top. It's Smelker for the Pride. Coming in is Kaleigh Fratkin. Now Fratkin back in the corner. Kazumi there. Loose stick on the ice. That belongs to Knight. Helped her keep the puck in. 35 seconds to play. Finally, Kazumi with it. And here comes Kazumi, zooming out of her zone. All the way down the length of the ice while the rest of the Whale change up with 25 to go. See if the Whale can finish off strong here and at least close the gap a little bit. They're facing their first 2-game losing streak in team history. Wolfiler right side. Fires it wide past Ott. 13 seconds to go. Engstrom to Long in front. Wolfiler to the trailer, cutting toward the net. And the backhand shot by Smolensova never got there. Fires a pass back to the high slot. Engstrom lobbed in front, blocked. 1 second to play, and the horn will sound as Boston wins 5-2. despite a bit more oomph and energy in the third period on the part of the Connecticut Whale, they end up on the short side by a final score of 5-2. It was a 4-1 game after 40 minutes of play. Hilary Knight and Kaleigh Babstock trading off the third period goals. So that fourth period was the second period, that 4-goal second period. The difference here, 4 of the 5 Boston goals coming then, as everyone is at center ice for the handshake. Third period unofficially, Boston 7 shots, the Whale 5, 36-19. The shots on goal again unofficially in this one. The Whale did get a power play goal in the third. 1 for 2 in the third. They go 1 for 6. The Boston Pride in the third period do not draw any advantages, and they go 0 for 3. The Whale raise their sticks up in the air for the faithful here in Stamford, Connecticut, that came out to the game, but unfortunately they see the Whale end up on the short side by a final score of 5-2. Brittany Ott is pretty solid in net. She stopped what she needed to. 17 saves of 19 shots. She's now 9-1-1 on the season. Jamie Leonoff, well, her roughest outing this season. She faced 36 shots. She gave up 5 goals. She takes the loss and falls to 7-2 on the season. The victory for the Boston Pride puts them at 10-3-1 on the season, 21 points, just 1 behind the Connecticut Whale, who dropped to 11-3, and they're now 0-1 in the Heather Lindstad era here this season. Brianna Decker and Hilary Knight with 2 goals each. For the Boston Pride, Jordan Smelker with her 7th, a 4-game goal-scoring streak for her. Knight has goals in 7 straight games. And for the Connecticut Whale, Kelly Stack picked up her 7th of the season, as did Kaleigh Babstock. So the 2 Kellys got on the board for the Connecticut Whale, just not enough today for Connecticut as they suffer the loss. And that'll do it here from the Chelsea Piers in Stamford, Connecticut. The Boston Pride come away victorious. They'll be at the Aviator Sports Complex in Brooklyn next Saturday. And then you can join us here in Danbury, Connecticut a week from today, 12:30, the face-off from the Danbury Ice Arena, as the Connecticut Whale have a home game on the road, second such game this season. They were victorious earlier in the month up in Ingalls Rink in New Haven, Connecticut, home of the Yale Bulldogs. We'll see what they do next Sunday in Danbury, Connecticut, the current home of the Danbury Titans, the one-time home of the infamous UHL's Danbury Trashers. And if you can't make it in person, you can join us on NWHL Cross Ice Pass. Free webcasting for all games this season. Well, that'll do it here from Stamford. I'm Phil Jubileo. So long. Once again, your final score, 5-2, Boston over Connecticut. And you've been watching the NWHL on Cross Ice Pass. Good night, everybody.